So with how Patreon is, really I've been posting like everything that's kind of just been, whatever I've been posting on there to all tiers. But and that's really because some dude like a year ago, and I kind of started from that point, came in with $80, and then they was going to act like they was going to pay for the Patreon, but then they end up pulling out, which is some nonsense. And then after that, I was like, well, I guess no one really want to pay for shit, so I just said F it and just put at every single tier on everything I've ever done, really. And then now I'm kind of like, well, that doesn't make sense because all that does is just devalue my work. So now I'm about to have Patreon to be structured in a way where now I kind of know what I want to do with it, finally. And essentially, I'm going to basically reset the tiers and change some tiers, and that's going to be basically how we're going to go about certain things, right? So I'm gonna briefly go through this very quickly, and if anybody has any questions, obviously please DM me on Twitter so we can actually discuss this and properly have it, because I know sometimes not necessarily, wanting to listen to this stuff on the video and whatever, you might want to skip through, but if you are someone that's interested and you're part of this channel, you want to maybe become a patron at some point in time, then this will be something helpful for you. So at the $3 tier, we'll be having a normal thanks of your support, and then uncensored Koikatsu story, but that's all you're getting essentially for the $3 tier. Then you go to the $7 tier, which will be having Koikatsu picture sets that I often do, and maybe sometimes on the $3 tier I'll show you one set, but still nonetheless you're not going to get that all the time. You're going to get that like every so often, right? Every rare occasion. But yeah, $7 you get the Koikatsu picture sets, and that's how that goes, and that should be fine, I hope. Then from the $13 tier, I'm actually going to go $2 extra when it comes to it, which is now going to $15, and that will be edited Koikatsu cards, Koikatsu animations, and video ideas and story ideas of what I'm planning to do in the future. And what I mean by edited Koikatsu cards, obviously, is just that, cards that maybe someone else made, but also I try to, change it up in a way where it looks like a different card, or it could be taken as a different card, kind of like the Bimbo Rampa stuff that we did. So something like that, like Bimbo Junko or Shiaki, like that, right? So cards like that, not like Blue or Shoko or any of those girls, but like cards like that, I'll release them every so often, and then do something with that, because I don't want to take somebody's card and just be like, oh, it's a changed card because boobs are larger or something like that. No, I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that it's something a bit different of an idea taken in a different direction of that character with somebody else doing something with it, right? So that's essentially what edited Koikatsu cards mean. So hopefully that clears some things up. $30 is going to be the tier where you see all of my drawings and everything of that sort, and basically that's what's going to be the case from this point forward. Anything that I've already posted is going to be not necessarily going to change, but anything from this point on will be a part of the $30 tier, because it takes a lot to draw a lot of stuff, especially in digital. And I find my new method of drawing, which is very easy to draw stuff now, I still don't want to devalue my art in anything that I really make. So when it comes to like the different variations of transparency and all that type of stuff that you get in these pictures, that will be at the $30 tier, and that's just going to be how that goes. Then the last tier will be $50, which is you can suggest a character for me to draw, not commission, but suggest something, like maybe have Rukia. And if you want to throw in an idea, maybe like, oh, Rukia could be just, I don't know, sitting on top of some ice cream or something like that, but naked. Okay, I'll do my best to see if I can draw it, right? And then that's fine, right? And it might not necessarily always come through as a banger commission, because I remember somebody asked me for Aelita from Code Lyoko. So yeah, that was like a thing, and then I didn't necessarily do that great of a job, but they got a kick out of it, so I guess I failed successfully. But still, nonetheless, I might not necessarily be able to get to every single suggestion if it's a lot of people, or I might not necessarily be able to do it correctly and get it right, but I still want to give it a try if someone wants to suggest a character, a female character. So that's what it is. So just briefly again, $3 tiers is going to be the thanks and uncensored Koikatsu story. $7 is going to be the Koikatsu sets. The $13 tier is now going to $15, and it's going to be the edited Koikatsu cards, the Koikatsu animation, Koikatsu different animations, like stuff that might be in some type of content that we can't show here, and video ideas and story ideas. $30 is going to be all the drawings I do and all of its variations, and then the $50 is just basically suggesting a character for me to draw and seeing how we can kind of go with that, because I know somebody might be like, oh, draw Tatsumaki, but I can't because her hair is literally the devil and I can't get that for some shit. So that's what I mean by that, right? And when it comes to the $13 tier to the $15 tier, none of that is going to change until October the 1st. So just making sure that you get your stuff in first before anything else. So basically, if you want to come through and you want to just pay for it already, then that's fine. But like I said, after October 1st, it will start, actually, we're really on October 1st. It's going to start, going to the $15. So I'm not going to change it now, but when October starts, that's when it will change to 15 permanently, and that's just how it is. So that's how the Patreon is going to go, and hopefully you understand when it comes to it, because, life is just rough, honestly, and it's not getting easier out these streets, obviously. And I just want to basically kind of do it where I can survive, but also where, I'm working for the work and pay that I'm trying to do, right? So it's not necessarily just me just like, oh, I'm just asking for money just to ask for money, but unless I have to. But I'm mainly being like, let me do some servicing and then, have that to be the thing. And then obviously, so it feels like it's worth your time too, right? Because I'm kind of like a Lara Nightmare. I always work for the payment I receive. I always put that effort in, right? So that's essentially what I want you to think about when it comes to potentially becoming a Patreon member as a whole, right? So yeah, again, hopefully you understand what the prices and stuff like this. Hopefully you understand where I'm coming from. And hopefully we could get some people coming through, because I see a lot of artists always be slapping with their art all the time. And I'm like, damn, I want to get on that level. I want to be having that many people in my damn Patreon looking for my art or anything that I'm doing, essentially. And that's something that I'm very much wanting to aim for and have. But we got to put in the work and spread the name around, definitely. But when it comes down to things, that's what I have for you on this one. I might come back for you another video today, maybe about the Starfield thing, because oh boy, people are really not open-minded at all when it comes to the topic of this conversation, and it's actually ridiculous how people really are, but we'll say that for that video if I decide to do it. But yeah, that's just basically a little bit of an update of what's going on, and I'm basically just trying to structure, the Patreon back to being what it should be and what I started out to do, and now I actually have an idea of what I want to do with it. That's essentially what it's going to take when it comes to it. So yeah, again, it's a lot. I understand you can't donate. I understand completely. But if you want to chime in and get with the program and stuff like that, and you want to do it, I'm perfectly fine and happy with that. If you just want to donate too, that's perfectly okay. And even if it's not through Patreon, you got Cash App at the bottom, that's fine. And I think Ko-Fi somewhere, you could probably do it too with that. And I'm perfectly fine with that too. Again, this is just for like Patreon changes and things like that, and if you're interested to see any potential art, because there is art that you can see, but I haven't really shown that much, or at least haven't shown all the variations. There's plenty of variations, but I haven't shown you any. So maybe take a look at the Patreon. Maybe it might pique your interest in some shape or form. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for this one. Again, I might come back at you with another video later today, depending on how I get my thoughts together when it comes to that Starfield thing. But we'll see how that goes. But anyway, that's essentially all I have for you. So until the next video, which maybe might be today, maybe not, I don't know. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification on your way out. Also follow me on the socials. Any voices on the channel, again, Patreon, like the whole video, is available as well. And until then, it's your boy Jay, signing off. Have a blessed day.